Let me first of all tell you that I am painfully aware that some of you are painfully aware of the sunshine today. And I am also painfully aware of the fact that of all of the many hundreds of you who sit here, there's probably not one or maybe two who can remember even so much as a sentence you have ever remembered from a dedicatory address from someone like me on an occasion like this. That's painful to think about in light of all the clever things I wanted to say this afternoon. But I also know that when a program has extended, one should remember what Jesus would have said had he ever been the dedicatory speaker at an event like this. Blessed are the brief, for they shall be invited again. And there probably would have been yet another variation on one of the existing Beatitudes. Blessed are the merciful, who remember those in the audience who have sat through the program. But today we've done more than be a part of a program. We've been a part of the launching and unveiling of an extraordinary opportunity for the people of this area to have a new enterprise in education they've never had before. And today we celebrate this wonderful campus that has been alluded to on many occasions at this podium today. But it's impossible to stand here and look at these wonderful buildings, this fantastic Keller Green, and to think that you were wise and smart enough to keep the trees so that this campus looks like it's 100 years old, not 100 days old. And I thank you for making it give the appearance that this is an institution that has been here a long time. But the better news is it's clear from today's event that whether or not it has been here a long time, it's going to be here a long, long time, serving the people of Arkansas and the students whose hopes and opportunities will come true here. You built a wonderful place, and I salute you, the people of Mountain Home, and your many friends and partners for helping you do it. A beautiful place indeed. You've also built some wonderful programs. And as one looks at the many lecture series that have already been endowed, any college administrator would be green with envy to think that a campus so new and a college so fresh would have already endowed very significant and powerful programs. But you've also been a part of something more important than that. You've built people. We've today had many of us come forward who have titles in front or behind our names. But let us never forget that this campus was not built for us to come. It was built for students to come. Students who perhaps never would have had the opportunity to drive 100 or more miles every day to go to class, but who will be able to continue education in Mountain Home, Arkansas, because of the sacrifice and the generosity and the heart and the spirit that so many of you have. This is not about us. It is about every student in his or her 30s who, with a family, wants to realize the dream of an extended education. It's for every high school graduate whose parents perhaps either cannot afford or that student cannot quite yet see himself or herself going to a great distance to a university, but can come here to this school to get the basics before moving on to the four-year degree plan at perhaps the parent institution. Most importantly, it's about building the lives of every person in the community, because when the tide of education rises, all the boats float higher. And today, Mountain Home is benefited and blessed by the launching of this new vessel of education, this wonderful and very, very spectacular place that will be known from now on as Arkansas State University at Mountain Home. But let me say to you all here today that there's one person who has been so very quick to recognize everyone else, who has enthusiastically acknowledged the hard work and the dedication and the sacrifice of so many who have made this possible. But he himself deserves, though he certainly does not ask, for the most significant recognition of all, because every great movement has to have someone who sees the vision before anyone else can see it. And I remember the day, not long after I'd become governor in 1996, when Ed Coulter drove me up here in his four-wheel drive vehicle. This was nothing but a pasture. And yes, Ed, I do remember those thistles, because you made me walk through many of them. And I remember Ed Coulter driving us up here and saying there's going to be this beautiful campus here, and he described it. He pointed out where the buildings would be. All due respect, Ed, all I could see were the thistles. That's why you're the president of the chancellor of this college, and I'm just here speaking. I remember when we came back for the groundbreaking, I called it the shovel breaking, because the ground was so hard we broke shovels, not ground. And only Ed Coulter would have made us try to dig the footings for all four of the buildings while we were here. Breaking ground in 21 sites, so virtually everyone in the community could be in at least one of the photographs. I'll never forget that. I'll never forgive him for that either. But most of all, I'll remember today coming and seeing the smile and the exuberance on his face as he was able to lead a dream to fulfillment. When he unveiled this wonderful stone over here with Baptist College on it, Les Wyatt and I looked at each other and thought, how's he going to get away with that on a state school? I've known Ed Coulter for over 20 years. He was in the administration when I first went to college at Washita Baptist University, I might add. And Ed learned a lot while on that staff. He learned how to grow and think and have vision. But he did something else that's been remarkably helpful here. I think it goes with being a Baptist. He learned how to raise money. Will the ushers come forward at this time? Yeah. Actually, we would have done that, but Ed's cleaned you out already, so there's no point in doing it. But ladies and gentlemen, I think of all the things we should do here today, far more so than recognizing any other person, all of us need to say to Ed Coulter, thank you, Ed. God bless you, Ed, because your vision, your heart made this possible.